right, that brings us to our final topic segment, the one that I'm sure you guys like out there, responding directly to your comments.
Yes,
So
sir.
where we at today, Diesel?
So today we go come back again from the book of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
The verse we go pull from is I think we had a lot of action on this topic here. Has the red pill ruined generations of men?
Mm.
So let's go ahead and dive on in. This is where we were just talking about how where we were questioning has the red pill ruined generations of men, and I think I said like yes, there have been definitely some men who have taken it to an extreme. But for the most part, no, it hasn't because if anything, it has just made men more aware. So the next comment came from Tuesday Morning Quarterback. It says, some people take everything to an extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Some people use this as an excuse to never look into any truth at all. I would agree.
I would agree.
There's definitely some instances of this at play. And in regards to the red pill, though, again, I do know that there are some men who have taken it to an extreme.
Yeah, because even like in that movie, there was a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You had a choice to make, and so with that being a choice being prevalent, that means like he said, you could choose one or the other. You could choose to deal or embrace these hard truths, or you could deal to stay sleep or dormant. You know what I mean? Like because maybe you're not built to be that person. You're not built to handle the ups and downs. Maybe you function better as someone that has it all laid out, and you're fine with going on the path that someone laid out before you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Again, it's right. Maps. So
yeah,
map GPS.
yeah.
Our next one came from a David Monette. They want us to host society, or I guess that was maybe hold. They want us to hold society together when it doesn't benefit us at all, like a slave. No more crash and burn.
Hmm. They
Uh,
want us to hold society together when it doesn't benefit us.
I don't ever think that there's not going to be no benefit in men doing what we do to hold society together because
Mm-hmm.
we are society in my opinion when it comes to that level of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, if we stop doing what we're doing, if
Mm-hmm.
men stop showing up in the world crumbles.
For sure.
Like no ifs ands and buts about it.
Right.
So we still are going to show up though just because of principle.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like men don't understand that they don't have to play the game. You know what I'm saying? When it's specifically now when it comes to relationships with women, you guys don't have to play the game. You don't have to engage in the foolery. You know what I mean? You can only be a victim if you choose to engage in the foolery of the
Right.
game. So yes, it's going to be challenging. The world is filled with it girls now. You're 100% correct. However, there are still some solid women in the world.
For sure.
There are still some women that have character. There are still women who have virtue, and there are still women who are being raised to be wives.
Yeah.
They not go look like the it girls that y'all men mostly seem to be infatuated with, but they exist. So you, as men, we have to make a decision. What is our priority? Are we focused on just surface level traits for a woman that we want to be our wife and mother of our children? Or
Mm-hmm.
do we want that substance? That's a personal choice every man has to make for himself. And in this day and age, it does seem like a lot of men settle for the surface level
I
traits.
just thought about something. I
Talk to
said the
us.
way the reason they're settling goes back to the topic that we had: courtship versus dating. When courtship was private, so therefore all those we outside now is the terminology. So only people that's outside is your it girl, but
Mm-hmm.
that virtuous
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
courtship
yeah.
worthy girl is still being private, and like she's not outside.
Mm-hmm.
She not in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
She's not at the club. She ain't doing the shots of
The
Jaeger
butt
bomb and
shots.
all that,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
twerking
Right, right, right.
and all that stuff. She's still like in spaces that's conducive to her virtue, her being virtuous.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. She's not into being loud
And
and
obnoxious.
obnoxious
Right.
and drunk and messy drunk, pissy drunk, and all that stuff. So to the point, like, yeah, they all out here, but I don't think they outside, like, because we think, yeah, we outside there, like, And so that's why everyone you got all the men going outside because you really can't find the courtship worthy women because they ain't outside. And that's why the
Mm-hmm.
second point to it, that's why the whole courtship was a whole family endeavor
Mm-hmm.
thing. And that's why it was private because it was, the family working together to position the female in a good light and whatever the case may be, and hook her up with a man that came from decent stock, great family, and that could support her. And so therefore that stuff was done privately. Like the person that wanted the wife wasn't trying to get the girl that was down at the brothel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But
right,
she
right, right,
wasn't an option.
right.
So why is that? Why is you giving that as an option now in 2025?
Exactly. Well, we do. My theory is we give it as an option in the name of individualism,
Yeah.
and just you can have and do whatever you want and feel happy, feel love, and
So I guess I
feel.
guess the question is how and with the dynamics of the world today, how do we find this virtuous woman or the courtship worthy woman?
I believe we have to go back to you already said it, arranged marriages. Got to
Uh,
go back to that because to your point, you just actually I never thought of it like that, but you actually make a good point that the virtuous woman she not outside.
Hell no.
She's not outside
Mm-mm.
ever.
No.
She goes outside to go handle her
She
business.
don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
She don't want to be a part of that.
Right. Right.
So there it
Just
is.
like a nigga that's worth something, he ain't on the block.
Yep.
He ain't
Yep.
outside on the block.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck I'm out here for? Like sitting duck.
Right. Right. All right. The next comment came from I ain't said nothing. I have no clue what I'll talk about. I thought red and blue pill was from the Matrix. I have no clue what.
What y'all talking about? Maybe.
I don't know. He said I'll
I
and
guess that could have been YALL.
with the I'll.
He hit the I in that thing before. I mean, by mistake. I'll
I have no
talking
clue what
about.
y'all. I have
Go
no clue what y'all talking about. I thought red pill and blue pill was from the Matrix. It is from the
ahead. It is from the
Matrix,
Matrix.
uh,
Genius.
and it has been a concept that has been redressed specifically for dating and relationships to represent something that is foreign to what it originally started off as when the Matrix dropped it in 1999.
And like we said, it could be adapted to anything. It's
Anything,
not
right?
just limited to relationships.
It's life.
You
It's a life
life
principle.
principles. You could take the red and blue pill, and it's all about how you face challenges.
Hmm.
Is whether you take a red pill approach or do you take a blue pill approach.
Right. So next comment comes from West Side Chronicles.
What side?
They say a lot of misogyny towards women and blaming slash victimhood in red pill. It's giving I can't naturally attract women, so I hate them. Instead
Mm.
of let me improve myself so I'm more attractive.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think red pill it doesn't constitute hating women. I disagree.
I think that's the low level learner response to the red pill, blue pill. If you
But
are,
the red pill has never been uh spoken of in the light where it I never heard no one say, they hate women like because of the red pill thing. That was
I agree.
it never came across where the woman was put down because of you had the red pill mentality.
Hmm. But that's what people's interpretation of men saying whatever they saying, or the red quote unquote red pill men is, oh, you guys just must hate women. Oh, like
Mm-mm.
you guys must hate you hate. But again, the red pill man is a man who does his homework. He's a critical thinker,
Mm-hmm.
specifically now when it comes to a relationship. So again, he's gonna go and do his own personal investigation and
Mm-hmm.
research on the history of dating to learn what we talked about in the previous to understand why it is what it is, so he can move accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
But
gotta
again, that's gonna be obviously not to women's interest because now that's just one less guy that they're going to be able to just quote unquote get to just give them something because
I mean, but
of being an it
it
girl.
could be in that woman's interest because now you see what the man is valuing,
Right.
put value on, and what he's really want. So therefore, it's up to y'all to change,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all changed and became this it girl, charity girl, and shop girl. Y'all went through those changes. All right, now let's change and become ladies. When we gonna make that change? When that's gonna be when that's gonna be the thing?
Yeah, when the women go get back to being women of virtue.
Yeah.
So next one is not JJ. They say red pill has helped men. Yep.
Hmm.
Next one is Cruz. They say nah, it woke them up. Yeah.
Hmm.
Next one was a Joshua Ford. How can it? All Red Pill did was expose the double standards, manipulation, games, and antics of predatory women while teaching men to have a backbone against nonsense. I would agree.
Hmm.
Then someone responds to Joshua Ford, a Roundhouse Rick. Roundhouse Rick says, literally the same situation as how people are mad at Doe's for exposing corruption. We live in a crazy clown world.
That we do.
Good point, gentlemen.
That we do.
Last comment is from a Steven Fit. They say red pill is needed. Stop it. Like yes, red
It
pill is
is.
needed.
It is.
So that's responding directly, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have anything you would like to hop on and leave a comment for one of the clips we post, feel free to do so on any platform,
Yeah, we love to hear
especially
from you,
TikTok. And like you said, you might make it on the show.
and we love when y'all engage with each other too. That's awesome.
The ripples. Let the
The
ripples
rip-
continue to ripple.